So today we're diving into something with a pretty wild name, Heroes of Hyperinflation, a marketplace without money. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's this fascinating digital experiment that asks us to imagine a world where our everyday ways of buying and selling just stop working.
Seriously, think about it for a second. What would you actually do? Your wallet's full of cash, but it's worthless. Your credit cards are just useless pieces of plastic. It's a pretty intense scenario, right? Well, there's this really unusual project out there that's built to tackle that exact problem.
And their answer is a website called heroesofhyperinflation.net. It's a peer-to-peer market with one massive, unbreakable rule: no government-issued money at all. And this isn't just some political statement, it's a genuine experiment trying to figure out what commerce could actually look like if, or when, conventional currency collapses.
Okay, so first up, let's break down what this thing actually is at its core.
So the best way to think about it is like a super stripped-down Craigslist, or maybe even like one of those old-school cork bulletin boards you'd see in a coffee shop, but for the whole internet. The people behind it actually call it design-free, and trust me, they are not kidding. The focus here is 100% on function, not on making it look pretty. It's all about being simple, tough, and just plain working when you need it to.
All right, that brings us to the big why, right? What's the core idea driving this? Why would you go through all the trouble of building a marketplace that bans the one thing we all use to buy stuff every single day?
Well, to get the why, we got to quickly talk about this term fiat money. You hear it a lot, but what is it? Simply put, it's money like the US dollar, the euro, the yen, pretty much all major currencies today. Their value isn't backed by something physical, like a stash of gold. Instead, its value comes from our collective faith and trust in the government and the economy behind it.
And that right there is the key. The whole project is built on one big what if. What happens if that trust just disappears? If it completely evaporates? This whole system is designed to be a plan B. It's meant to be an alternative economic space ready and waiting for a scenario where regular money goes through hyperinflation and becomes, well, basically worthless paper.
Okay, so with that idea in mind, let's get into the nuts and bolts. How does this thing actually work? Like, how would you list an item or find something you want to buy?
The secret sauce, the engine running this whole operation, is a web crawler. Now, don't think Google, which scans the entire internet. This crawler is way more focused. It's basically a little search bot that has one mission and one mission only: to find videos on sites like YouTube that are formatted in a very specific way to be a product listing for this marketplace.
And this is where it gets really clever and shows you just how decentralized it is. You don't upload anything to their website. Instead, you just make a video of whatever you're selling on a public platform like YouTube. The key is you have to start your video title with www.hoh.net. Then you format the description in a certain way, and that's it. You're done. The crawler takes over, finds your video, and automatically pulls it into the marketplace. Pretty neat, right? So, here's a real-world example from the site itself. It's a listing for firewood, 4 cubic meters of it to be exact. But check out the prices. They aren't in dollars or euros. Nope. The price is listed in Monero, in Bitcoin over the Lightning Network, and in something called LU. Not a single government currency in sight, just like the rules say.
And that leads us right into what is probably the most interesting and unusual part of this whole thing, the very specific rules of how you can trade.
Okay, rule number 1. And this is the big one. It's the absolute non-negotiable heart of the entire system. No prices in euros, dollars, or any other government fiat currency, period. The whole point is to exist outside that system. So using fiat money is a total no-go.
So you're probably wondering, what can I use then? Well, pretty much anything that has real, tangible value. You've got cryptocurrencies like Monero and Bitcoin. You've got precious metals like silver and gold. And then you get into commodities, things like copper. Or, and this is my favorite, a case of beer is listed as an acceptable payment. How cool is that? What's really fascinating, though, is that you can even use things like 10-cent coins, not for their 10-cent value, but for their value as 4.1-gram chunks of brass. It's all about physical worth. Privacy is also a really big deal here. The project is very clear. Do not put your personal info in the text description of your video. They even point to specific European privacy laws like GDPR as the reason why. They don't want the crawler to scrape and index your personal data. So if you need to share contact info, you have to do it in the video itself, either show it on screen or say it out loud, or you can just put it on your channel's main homepage.
All right, so what's the long-term vision here? What's the end game for a project like this?
Well, the goal isn't just to have this one little website. The code is completely open source. The big vision is for what's called a federated network.
Basically, that just means that anyone can take the code, set up their own website on their own domain, run their own crawler, and build their own version of the marketplace. The whole thing is designed to spread, like spores.
So if you boil it all down, you get these 4 key ingredients that really define the whole project. It's open source, so anyone can grab the code and play with it. It's decentralized, since it cleverly uses huge platforms like YouTube that are already out there. It's scalable, because anyone can spin up their own version. And it's designed to be censor-resistant. Think about it. Since the listings are just your own videos, the only person who can really take your listing down is you by deleting your video.
And all of this brings us back to that one big question. What are we really looking at here? Is this just a niche digital experiment, something for a very specific fringe group? Or could it be an early, maybe kind of clunky blueprint for a new kind of commerce? A more resilient, decentralized way of trading that could actually become super important if there's a major crisis down the road? What do you think? The truth is, right now, we can only guess.